Sanchit Group of Hospitals seeks to improve the success rate and patient satisfaction rate by 100% in the next year. That's ambitious. In BDM, make sure that you're looking at all the details. It matters. It's been told as 100%. That's ambitious. However, the management can't afford to send doctors for professional development outside the country, nor afford purchasing more equipment. We can't send them outside. We can't purchase more equipment. As an in-house measure, the managing board thought of having doctors with high patient satisfaction to mentor those with less. Seems like a good idea. Some guys are doing well. They can mentor those who are doing less well. Most of the doctors found it an interference by management, judgmental, and an expression of distrust. And this is likely to be pushed back. Anytime you say you learn from others, it conveys that message. More importantly, doctors and management could have more of a conflict because the management does not necessarily understand the exact challenges faced by the doctors. At least that's what doctors are likely to feel. And so this is set of doctors, set of management. There's likely to be more a setup for mild conflict, because doctors will not want management interfering and telling them how to do their job, that is handling patients. Right? There were, however, some isolated few who found it a novel way of learning from each other. Remember this word, isolated few. Many people felt it to be a pain. Isolated few. Isolated the adjective is saying few, not too many. The doctors felt the management should instead increase consultancy fees and spend more on recruiting more paramedics who could spend time with patients rather than blame doctors, and decided to call it quits. Some have quit. Doctors want an increase in pay or consultancy fees, which is understandable. Everybody is going to say that. They want to fix this satisfaction issue by saying have more paramedics. Patient satisfaction. Doctors come, meet, say hi, hello, give the tablet and go away. And paramedics sit, counsel, talk to them, handle them, and make them feel more reassured. That's a plan the doctors seem to be pitching. For the management, this would mean loss of patients. I think they're saying if we do this, then we probably lose patients. They feel that the doctors shouldn't shy away from providing patient satisfaction. We cannot outsource it or hand it over to paramedics. That is the opinion management has. They feel that this would lead to this approach would lead to loss of patients, and this would mean loss of patients. Right? Wonderful. Let's step up and see the questions. Consider the following actions. Conduct a survey of all stakeholders and ascertain their needs and suggestions. Build consensus among doctors and paramedics on a possible way forward. Prepare an action plan that details the roadmap along with financial implications. Design differential service packages based on the affordability of the patients. Run a brainstorming session among the leading doctors of the area. Which of the following sequence of actions is most appropriate for the hospital administration in achieving their goal? It's a very simple rule of thumb here. Anything that says include all stakeholders, discuss, listen, brainstorm, build consensus. These are the words that we like, and these are the ideas that you like. So even if in your mind you know one course of action is the best, any choice, any statement that says discuss, listen, brainstorm, include stakeholders, build consensus, those are the statements that we like. Right? What don't we like? Anything unethical, anything where someone new is brought in who's not involved in the process, anything illegal, all of that we don't like. And so we want to discuss and create a way among all of us. And so we don't want something else to be imposed based on one new person's idea or some rule that someone has read somewhere. We definitely don't want to do something illegal. We want to stay away from anything unethical. And among the choices here, nothing appears unethical. And nothing looks illegal. So there's no easy way of eliminating. The statement that I like is this one. Build a consensus among doctors and paramedics on a possible way forward. I like build consensus. You have to get doctors on board. You have to get paramedics on board. Conduct a survey of all stakeholders and ascertain their needs and suggestions. So this expands the scope. This is likely to be a good first step. Speak to doctors. Speak to paramedics. Speak to the people involved in management, apart from you yourself who's conducting the survey, speak to patients and get their ideas, inputs. Tell them, this is what we want to do. What's your idea for this? So anything that expands and gets views from all stakeholders, I like, and the exam likes. Keep that in mind. Prepare an action plan that details the roadmap along with financial implications. So sequence of actions. This will come after survey and consensus building. This is, look, listen, then create a path. So this is also a good idea, but this comes later. I don't like anything that starts with 3, but I like choices that will end with 3. Something, 3, or something, 3, something, depending on the choices, but I cannot start with 3 for sure. Design differential service packages based on the affordability of patients. This is also fine, but this seems like something that you have arrived at after they're doing a set of analysis, right? And we don't know the analysis points. So this seems like an action that's based on analysis, and we don't have the analysis backdrop for it. Run a brainstorming session. We like among the leading doctors of the area. I want to talk to my doctors. I want to talk to my paramedics. I want to talk to management, patients who come here. Without going to leading doctors, I want to speak to everybody inside first before going out. So I'm not such a big fan of 5. Definitely not a 5 before doing 1 and 2. I will do maybe 1 and then 5, 2, maybe to go forward. But I like 3 also. So now we need to figure out how we can put this together. The 2 choices that I really like are 1 and 2. Conduct a survey, get everybody's view, build a consensus. Right? What I would want to end with is 3, create an action plan. Brainstorming session cannot come without speaking to our own people. And so I don't want to do a brainstorming session without speaking to our own guys. So starting with 5 out, and then define differential packages straight away, then build consensus. This is out. A is out. Conduct a survey of all stakeholders, brainstorm, then prepare an action plan. So this seems reasonable. Conduct a survey, run a brainstorming session. So know what all your people want. Look outside, listen to them, then create an action plan. 4, 2, 1, design a differential package and then conduct a survey. You'll define a package and then conduct a survey. That simply doesn't work. 4, 5, 2, design packages, run brainstorming, then build consensus. You build consensus after you build trust. Oh, this is out. 1, 2, 3, conduct a survey of all stakeholders, build consensus among doctors and paramedics on a possible way forward, prepare an action plan. This is also interesting. Between this and this, I'll prefer this, because leading doctors of the area, this becomes you will discuss that if you had a medical session where you say, look, how do we handle the spread of malaria? How do we make sure that we communicate to everybody about the challenges faced because of leptospirosis? Then I would speak to the leading doctors if I want to have a medical consensus. What I'm looking at is a business problem. So my stakeholders are one notch higher than doctors of the area for my business problem. So I would have a bias towards 1, 2, 3 and 1, 5, 3. So I would go towards choice E. It's a tricky. Eliminate this, then pick and choose between what you're left with. Which of the following decisions is most likely to satisfy all the stakeholders? Allow doctors to choose patients based on income levels. Out. We can't say, look, you treat, then all of them will want to treat rich patients. Then we won't treat the less rich patients. Somebody will have to treat them, profiting both patients and the organization who will treat the poorer patients. Allowing doctors to cherry pick straight away, no. It probably, it is not an ethical way of running an hospital business, and where you say, look, each one will cater to a set of patients who can pay. Who pays, who has the ability to pay. The commercial objective is important, but the decision is taken at the hospital level. Letting individual doctors scramble for rich patients will leave a mess behind. Give 30% discount on medicines purchased from the hospital store. I don't know how this solves our idea of patient satisfaction and what doctors are likely to provide. Some patients will be happy. you get a discount on medicines. But the core here, people are coming for the service provided by the doctors and paramedics. So just medicines being cheaper, I don't know how it will satisfy this. Increase the income of doctors and number of paramedics. Yes, this I like. Doctors want more money. They want to hike up consultancy fees. Number of paramedics increases because they want to recruit more paramedics and do this. This is a usual thing. Increase the income of doctors and paramedics and the ambience of the hospital. This also is good. Increase income, so doctors are happy, paramedics are happy. Increase ambience, so patients will be happy. Raise income of doctors, that is good. And reduce the waiting time for patients. So patients will also be happy, doctors will also be happy. So it's between C, D and E. It's a very dicey choice. Right? So let's go back to the statement. Increase consultancy fees and spend more on recruiting more paramedics. For the management, this would mean loss of patients. He's saying having more paramedics and increasing the pay for doctors. He's saying this will lead to loss of patients. Lots of paramedics, doctors just go from place to place, they have higher fees, they spend less and less time with patients. That's not a solution. So increasing paramedics and having them fill in, that's not an option that we like. And so this is raise income of doctors and reduce the waiting time of patients. How will this lead to this? This is an end result. This is a route to that. This is not a decision. You cannot decide to reduce the waiting time of patients. You have to do something which reduces the waiting time of patients. So increase the income of doctors and paramedics and the ambience of the hospital. This will help patients. This will help doctors and paramedics. And the impact of that should help the management as well. So choice D. Given the current situation, which of the following is the most interactive and effective way to increase the learning among paramedics and doctors? Very often, the question phrasing is a big giveaway. Not just effective, but most interactive as well. Create groups of paramedics and doctors to meet every day and discuss their insights and experience of the day. Good. So they can meet. So the interactive part will be high. Effective part should also be high. Ask doctors and paramedics with high satisfaction rate to give lectures to others. Give lectures, the wrong message. Before start of work. So it's like they come and preach to the others saying how they should go about their work. That's not likely to be well received, number one. Number two, it does not tick the box on interactive. So I don't like this much. Get doctors and paramedics with high satisfaction rates, document their success stories. No, you document your success story, probably nobody reads it. Even if they do read it, it's not interactive. Implement professional development standards for staff, linking it with an accountability framework. It's probably something that will improve board, but again, it fails on interactive. You implement development standards, then everybody gets to know gets a bunch of it's like a training kit to become better, but they don't chat and learn from each other and have the choice of asking questions. Encourage paramedics and doctors to pursue courses over MOOC platform at their own cost, which will be partially subsidized. Subsidizing is good, but at their own cost is a pain. More importantly, MOOC platform online, it could be very effective, but it is not interactive. It's an easy question. The moment you picked that there are two criteria here. One is interactivity, other is effectiveness. On effectiveness, we could have debates about these, but on interactivity, A scores and is head and shoulders above the rest.